If you were to ask me of a professional detailer of the past 10 years, what one of the most important and most overlooked tools in your detailing arsenal is, I would definitely say it's microfiber towels. Today, we're going to be discussing every single towel that I use from start to finish of a full detail and go through the specs of each towel, the price of each towel, why I've chosen this specific towel for this specific use case, and really discuss why microfibers are important for you to spend good money on if you want to maintain your car properly. So welcome back to another out of spec detailing video here from Clear Detailing in Northern Colorado. I'm super excited for this one, so let's jump into it. In pretty much every single video that I post, I get the question every single time, what microfiber are you using for this, for that, for glass, for interiors, for wheels, for tires? And this is going to be a full dedicated video on that. This is an extremely important video for those of you that are professional detailers and those of you that like to maintain your car and keep them looking nice. Now, you may not need every single one of these towels, but I'm gonna go through essentially every single towel here for every single use case that I use here at the shop. Now, in my 10+ years of detailing experience, I have been through different towels constantly. I'm always searching for the best one. And I'll tell you, in all honesty, I keep coming back to really one specific company, and that is the Rag Company. Now, before we get into this video, I do need to say this video is absolutely not sponsored. I have not reached out to the Rag Company. They did not send me any of this free of charge. I spent my own hard-earned money on all of these towels because I care about the cars that leave my shop. So this is really a compilation of all of my experience over the past 10 years and what I really prefer to use on vehicles. We're going to start over here with washing and drying, moving into compounding, polishing towels, as well as ceramic coating prep towels, the towels that I use for wiping off flashed coatings. Then we're going to jump into, sealants and paint toppers that you can use, as well as jumping over here into glass interior towels, and then everything in between like wheels, suspension, and really nasty, dirty areas. I think you'll be surprised to see that a professional detailer actually uses towels from Costco here, and there's a very specific reason for that. Now, in the next video, right after this, I'm going to be doing a dedicated video on how to wash and maintain your towels, the proper detergents to use, the proper cycle you need to use, the proper water temp and drying temp. All of this is extremely important. If you're spending a lot of money on towels, you want to maintain them. You don't want to throw them out after every single time, although we will discuss that in today's video of what areas and what towels I do toss almost every single time. So let's jump in, starting with washing and drying. Now, one thing before we get into this video that you're going to hear me talk a lot about is the GSM. Now, if you're searching microfiber towels, you're going to need to know a little bit about what this means, and it's also going to help you select the right towel for the job. Now, some may have preferences. I have my own preferences on the different GSMs. We'll talk all through that, but GSMs really stands for grams per square meter. This is really how you tell how thick and how dense a towel can actually be. If you look over here, these are sitting right around 500 GSMs, a very thick pile on them. And one thing that you do need to know, just because a cheap towel has a high GSM does not mean it's quality. And just because a very expensive high quality towel has a low GSM does not mean it's a bad quality. GSM can be very helpful for selecting the right towel for the right job. For example, these are a 500 GSM over here, great for polishing and compounding. But then you may come over here to something like a waffle weave or a glass towel, which may have 0 or no GSM, but that doesn't mean this towel is worse for that specific use case compared to that. So make sure that you're understanding a little bit more about what GSM means. Just because it has a high GSM doesn't mean it's a high quality towel. To any great detail, we first need to start off with our washing and drying, and selecting the right wash mitt, wash pad here, and drying towels is absolutely essential for avoiding scratches and swirl marks on your vehicle's finish. Now over here is my preferred wash pad. This is made by the chemical guys. Now these are chenille wash pads and they retail at $8.99. Now there's a few reasons I choose not only chenille, but a wash pad over a wash mitt. So chenille I very much like because I can see the dirt in here. Now if you're doing a 2-bucket wash method, let's say with 2 of these microfiber pads in there, you're going to be able to see the dirt very easily. I also like to select a very bright color so that I can see the dirt quickly while I'm going through a wash. Now even the rag company, as you can see, I'm a huge fan of their products back here. I really don't like their wash mitts and wash pads. They use a very dense GSM on their microfiber mitts and pads there. And what I find is dirt gets trapped deep into the microfiber there. And it's very hard to get out, where I feel like the chenille mitts, they really let the dirt flow out of it. You know, if you're using a 1-bucket wash method like I use here, or a 2-bucket method. Now, after we've gone into our washing, we of course need to focus on drying. This right here is my favorite drying towel on the entire market. I've tested so many of these, spent quite literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars trying to find my perfect one, and this is it. This is the Liquidator from the rag company. It retails at $27.99. So yes, very expensive, but no, you should not be using a beach towel that you've had sitting in the back of your car that has sand and crap all over it. This is a very premium microfiber towel. It's also huge. This is a 25 by 36 towel. I'm not going to fully unravel this here, but there's a lot of great things in this. 1100 GSM, meaning it's a very thick pile. That's what you really want for drying your vehicle's finish. It's going to soak up that water very, very nice. This is a 70-30 blend, 70% polyester, 30% polyamide, which is going to be the same as our twist and shout over here. Now what I like using these for is my first big initial dry, getting most of the water off the vehicle's finish. One negative I have about this towel is it can be very heavy once it soaks everything up, and then it's hard to get into those little nooks and crannies. So typically what I do, take the Liquidator out, I dry the whole car, then I take my blow car dryer, get all the nooks and crannies out, and then I come in with the twist and shout, also from the rag company. Now what you'll see here, a lot less dense. This is 550 GSM, so about half the weight as this Liquidator over here. This is slightly cheaper, $24.99 for this, but it's also the same exact size. So I would say having both of these is really nice. The reason I like having this is it gets into those tiny little spots, like maybe right next to a license plate, right around badges, or those tight little vents and areas that there may just be a little bit of water left over. Huge fan of these, and I think these are really 3 great options for your washing and drying needs. Let's move on to compounding and polishing. Next, we move into our workhorse microfibers. And I say that because this is what really gets me paid, the compounding and polishing of the vehicle. And these towels are absolutely essential for that. So our blue towels over here and our white towels are both Eagle Edgeless 500 towels. 500 GSM in them. They're a 16 by 16 towel, and they retail at $5.99 per each. So as you can see, quite expensive if you add up how many I have here. This adds up extremely quickly. Now, I will say with these towels, you're not going to go through these every single car you do. As long as you wash and maintain them, they're going to last for a very long time. So this is a big initial investment, but they'll last for a good period of time. Now, lots of things that I love about these towels. First off, very plush. Again, 500 GSM. Now, this will be a little bit of preference based per detailer. A lot of guys like to use probably half the weight of this in the 250s, maybe even down to 200 for wiping off, compound, and polish. But I very much prefer these because I've worked on a ton of non-metallic black finishes in my detailing career, such as Tesla, Porsche, GM. And what I'd find is some of those lower GSMs that aren't as fluffy and plush as these are, you take a brand new towel, you'd get it washed, go to wipe it, and you just put scratches all over the finish. It's got very annoying, and it took me a ton of trial and error to finally find these, and I absolutely love them. Now, one thing you'll notice here is everything is color coded, and that is something that I would tell you as not only a DIY guy, but a professional alike, to make sure you color code these to something that you're gonna be able to see. So I use the blue over here for my compounding, and then I use the white Eagle Edgeless 500s for my polishing. I like the white ones for the polishing to see if I'm getting any black residue, maybe from trim or anything like that, maybe some dirt that I missed, whatever it may be, or maybe dirt's just falling out of little cracks and crevices. This is easy for my jeweling pass that I don't want to have any contamination in there. These are absolutely perfect for it. The last thing that I absolutely love about these are laser edged edgeless towels. So we don't have any sort of border on these. They're not going to scratch up your very soft vehicle's finish. Absolutely fantastic for this. And now moving on here, I do want to give you one of the biggest tips you're ever going to see in your detailing life here. Stop using your towel like this, please. I can't tell you how many people I see grab a towel, put their palm in the center of it, and then you get all these wrinkles in it. That's how you cause streaks on glass, on paint, whatever it may be. But also on top of that, you only have two sides now. Why not take this 16 by 16 towel, fold it up into quarters? Now you have an 8-sided towel. You just literally quadrupled what you have there. It is absolutely awesome. So next we're gonna move on to ceramic coatings, talking about what towels I use for not only the prep, but the removal and the flashing of ceramic coatings. Now this section of the video may be for more of those professional guys out there, but if you're trying to install a ceramic coating on your own, this is also a very important step. So we've gone through compounding, we've gone through polishing. Next is to a very critical stage in selecting the right towels and the right blend of towels we're using here. So first off, we need to use a prep towel here with something like Geon Prep. This is my preferred one to use to prep the surface, removing polishing oils, residue, anything left over, leaving a essentially naked paint. Now these are the Eagle Edgeless 350 towels in lavender. Now I like to color code these again to really the product that I use here, so I know exactly, boom, prep stage, grab these. I don't want to have these match my polished towels or my compound towels. I don't want any of that residue in these towels here. So these are 350 GSM, still that same fluffiness that we love over here from the 500s, just a little bit lighter. Now you could absolutely use these potentially in a different color like orange or red and use these for your prep stage, but I find that I really like the thinness of this towel being 150 GSM less than the 500s. Now these retail at $4.99 here. Again, same laser etched edge here. Absolutely fantastic. You're not worried about scratching. Ultra soft paints in this particular stage. The last thing you want to do, get the paint absolutely perfect, take your prep on there, have a fully edged towel and scratch the living heck out of it. Then you're having to repolish it. It's an absolute nightmare. So next, moving on to our ceramic coating stage, I of course would be using something like Geon Infinite Base Type 1. Now this will again be a very preferential stage for professional detailers, but this is what I found and I've used for probably the 7 or 8 years ongoing now. Now these for my initial wipe off are the edgeless pearl towels. Now I have them in gray over here. Sometimes I'll get them in orange. For me, it doesn't really matter. I don't use towels similar to this. These are 320 GSM. Now one thing I want to point out to you guys about GSM, these are within 30 GSM difference, and the towels are very different makeups here. You can see this is a lot fluffier, this is a lot shorter nap, but the weight of this towel is nearly the same as this. So it's not only with GSM, the different nap of it and the plushness, but it can just be down to the weight. So do be kind of observant of that there. You definitely don't want to use something like a very fluffy towel like this for your initial wipe off. Now these towels are great for just getting the coating leveled. So the first pass when we're doing ceramic coatings, I'm not trying to get everything off, just trying to get the coating kind of smoothed out, even, level. And then what I'll do is come back with one of these red Eagle Edgeless 500 towels. Again, same towel as these over here, but fantastic. These are $2.99 a piece, again, 320 GSM. These are towels that I single use. Coating towels, and I think a lot of people need to know this, you should not reuse them. The whole reason being, when you're applying a ceramic coating, it's flashing, it's curing on your vehicle's finish, you wipe it off with the towels, what do you think it's doing inside the towels? Now, ceramic coatings over time, if you've ever left a ceramic coating bottle, it'll literally form crystals in there. What do you think that does to your towels? Now you're gonna have all these rock solids in there, if you will, that are curing deep inside the towel, maybe not on the face of it, but these are something you're gonna wanna throw away. So do understand that coating towels, it does get very expensive. These are $2.99, these are $5.99. I will sometimes go through 2 sets of these, 2 of the gray edgeless here pearls and 2 of the edgeless Eagle 500s here. Again, same price on these, just a different color. I know when I'm coating, boom, grabbing a rub towel, no chance of me grabbing a compound polish or even a prep towel. Next, moving on to the final small details of your car. Next, we move to waxes, sealants, and other protectants, maybe even something like a coating topper. So something like ceramic gloss from DIY Detail or bead maker from P&S, or even something like Brilliant Glaze. These are going to be fantastic towels for these. Now again, yet again, Eagle Edgeless 500 towels in orange here. I love these for bead maker or something like a coating topper like CarPro Reload or any of those other kind of in that realm. They're great yet again because they're edgeless, 70-30 blend on them. Again, $5.99, just in a different color here. Next over here is honestly a towel I don't use a ton, but it could be beneficial maybe if you're using kind of the sprayable protectants, if you like to wax your vehicle or use like a paste sealant, you can have these. And these are the Rag Company Wolf Pack. Now I played around with these towels and I gotta say I'm kind of in between on them. So this may not be one of my absolutely preferred recommendations, but I also think these could be useful in a ton of different ways for waxes, sealants, even sprayable protection like these if you don't happen to like the Eagle Edgeless 500s. Now these come in a 3-pack. These are 480 GSM, retail at $9.99. So actually quite a bit cheaper over here, a cheaper alternative than the Eagle Edgeless 500s. Now these do come in different colors. I don't remember exactly how you get these in the pack, if they come with one orange, light gray, and dark gray, but there's a lot of great things to love about this towel. It's very fluffy. It is the same GSM on both sides, again 480, but it does have what they call a butter soft suede edge here. As you guys have seen throughout basically this entire video, I'm not a huge fan of using edge towels. I would prefer them to basically be all edgeless. I personally don't really see a need for this other than them to do some wolf branding on here. I don't know. I personally would prefer that towel to be edgeless. But these are fantastic towels over here for just using them on basically sealants, any sort of protectants that you're going to add to your vehicle's finish. Now, I'm sure you've been seeing this over here and been quite shocked that I haven't even talked about it, and I'm pretty sure you're shocked that it's even on this table of very expensive microfiber towels. These are, of course, the Kirkland Signature by Costco microfiber towels. They come in a 36-pack. They can be anywhere between 15 and 18 bucks from what I've seen at my local Costco. Now, these are a great all-purpose towel. Now, I think all-purpose is a little bit weird of a word. I think a lot of people assume all-purpose, oh, you can use it on anything. You can use it on paint, on glass, on wheels, whatever it may be. But I really think all-purpose is kind of the dirty towels, if you will. And that's why I absolutely love these. Now, what's really funny to me is, you know, I'll be sitting at home at night, scrolling through Instagram, looking at these very exquisite detail shops working on Ferraris, McLarens, Lamborghinis, and they'll be using these for microfibers for removing coatings. And I just think that's crazy. Now, on one hand, I get it. Towels are very expensive to single use and throw away. So they're like, okay, I'm installing a ceramic coating. I'm going to throw this towel away. Why not use a cheap one? For me here personally, I want to get the paint absolutely perfect. I want to achieve the highest level detail I absolutely can. And for me personally, I would rather throw $10 to $15 worth of towels each time I ceramic coat a car away and build those into my costs so that the customer is receiving a higher quality detail. I personally wouldn't use these on exterior painted surfaces. That is just my opinion. You can completely disagree with me. Now, where do I actually use these? I use these on a ton of areas, but mostly dirty areas. First off, door jambs. These are fantastic after you've done a wash. These aren't really areas that you're washing every single time. They get wet, they've got dirt in them. You don't want to grab a $6 towel, wipe it all up, and then have to wash that towel. You'll hear a lot about this in my next video where I talk about why I single use certain towels, but we'll touch on it here. I personally think anything that you're coming in contact with that is super dirty, throw that towel away. For me, it doesn't make sense to use, 5, 6 of these per car, just cleaning door jambs, wheels, suspension, things like that, and just throw them away. I just think when you're putting towels into a washer that have a lot of dirt, grime, grit, or even body oils when you get into interior, you shouldn't rewash those. Just throw them away. They're cheap enough. So finding something like this is a very good alternative to spending a ton of money for towels. Yes, I can hear the arguments of saying, okay, you spend a lot of money on these, but I would literally go through probably $100, $150 worth of towels if I didn't use these on cars. So I use these on door jambs. I use them to remove things like adhesive. Adhesive is one of those things that once it's in a towel, it's never coming back out. Toss that towel and get rid of it. Now, what I see a lot of detailers do is they start using these towels, and once they kind of get old and dirty, then they'll use it in kind of place of these. But I just don't want to continue to wash towels all the time. You got to understand here at the shop, when I go through a detail on a car, I'm probably using 50, 60 towels total. Having to wash those every single time, get ready for the next car, fold them, dry them, all of that stuff adds up over an extended period of time. Whereas if I can cut that in half and use nice towels in nice areas and cheap towels in areas that are really dirty, and I don't want to contaminate everything. I hope this is making sense. I know it's a bit of an kind of a confusing thing, but that's why I single use some of these towels. I also love these for interiors. Interiors are disgusting. I don't care who says it. I am very against doing a very disgusting interior detail, trying to wash those towels and then do it on the next car. I personally don't think you're gonna get absolutely everything out of a towel, and I just think it's gross when you see the kind of stuff we see as detailers using multiple towels on multiple different cars or a single towel on multiple cars. I just find it really gross. So these are great interior towels. You're cleaning up steering wheels, shift knobs, carpets, leather seats, anything like that. Clean it, boom, throw it away. Never gonna see that towel again. Don't have to worry about washing it. Don't worry about contaminating everything else. I actually also really like using these towels on areas like glass. I know that may sound surprising, but glass often has this, especially on new vehicles, this oxidization that comes out, this off-gassing from the plastics and leather materials. It can be a pain in the butt to get off. So I really like to use these to just get that big initial layer of oil off. Boom, throw that towel away and grab a nice glass towel to basically finish it out. I also use these for ceramic trim coatings and wheel coatings as well, because wheel dust is insanely kind of sharp, if you will, at kind of a molecular level. You don't want to get them into these towels and then wash those with your paint towels. Wheel and paint do not mix. I understand, yes, these do have a chance of scratching wheels, but I would rather not use those. I hope that's making sense. Also love these for suspension cleaning and anything that's just really gross and dirty. So I do think there's absolutely a place for these. Now, for interiors, there is one more area that I really like using a nice microfiber towel, and that is screens. I don't want to risk scratching a screen. These can be thousands and thousands of dollars, and I think using a cheap microfiber on there, probably not the way to go. So I like to grab an Eagle Edgeless 350 towel. I have them color-coded yellow. As you can see, I use these for interior quite often. These are my only yellow towels, so I know, boom, I grab this one. This is for interior plastics, like the bright, shiny piano black stuff. These are not gonna scratch it. Again, same over here as the lavender ones. These are $4.99. 350 GSM, completely edgeless, so you're not worried about scratching soft black plastics. And lastly, let's move on to glass towels. So the last towel we're gonna talk about here is probably the one that people struggle with the most, and that is glass cleaning or window towels. Now there are so many different options out there, and in all honesty, I've tried almost all of them, and I've hated pretty much 90% of them. Now, a lot of these glass towels are really specifically made for glass. I understand that, but a lot of the times I just find that they streak, they lint, they don't do as much cleaning as I would like. You take the car out into the sun and it's just like, it doesn't look crystal clear. And what I've found to be one of the biggest reasons for that is having a very thin glass towel or low GSM. Now there's a few ways around this that I've done in the past. I've used very similar towels to this. It's a very thin glass towel. Of course, you have edges on here. I believe this is the Rag Company Diamond Towel. Now they make some different ones that are more traditional glass towels. And what I found myself doing is using this for my kind of initial wipe and then coming back with a larger GSM towel to kind of pick up the rest of the residue. Now this can also be paired with glass cleaner. So you need to make sure you're using a glass cleaner that not only cleans, but it leaves some sort of, I don't want to say this wrong, but it doesn't strip everything off. I see a lot of people use isopropyl alcohol, and the issue with that is it strips everything off and your glass becomes like tacky. So you wipe a towel over it and it's like you're forcing it to move. That can create a lot of lint on your windows. It can also create streaks. So I'm a fan of a glass cleaner. I use Koch Chemi glass cleaner here or CarPro Clarify mixed with waterless wash sometimes to give it more of a slickness. It's not leaving behind protection. I just like a good slick feeling glass. I don't want something that's tacky. I think that's one of those things that a lot of people struggle with. But I've used these towels in the past, and to me it seems they work okay, and then they just start leaving a ton of lint. And I think one of the big problems with these is they don't have the GSM to kind of soak up enough glass cleaner and dirt. And once you get your glass towels too wet, they stop really cleaning all that well. They leave streaks everywhere. They leave glass cleaner residue. So I haven't been a big fan of those. I've also seen a ton of guys use waffle weave towels. I've tried them. I can't love them. They just don't get the crystal clear glass that I'm absolutely going for. So this is a towel that I've tried, I've tested, not a huge fan of. What I really like to do, again, going back to these Kirkland microfibers, is use these as my big initial first glass clean. So a lot of the times you're not doing a single wipe, boom, the glass is perfect. Especially on new cars, again, talking about that off-gassing, you have this kind of oily, plasticky residue that goes, boom, sticks on the inside of your windows. You have to get it off. And a lot of the times, the more you push it around and don't get it off, I have a full video on this using Brilliant Glaze from Adams, then using glass cleaner. Use these towels in it, and they're fantastic for it. You can get all of that crap off of there, then go back and get a streak-free shine. One towel that I've been playing with a bit, though, is these. These are For the Window, or FTW, from the Rag Company. And what you'll notice, big fluffy microfiber towel here. The more and more that I've been testing glass towels, the more and more that I like a bigger pile tile. Now these are quite heavy. These are 550 GSM. You'll also notice they have the Buttersoft suede around here. I don't really have a preference. Again, I'd kind of prefer it to be edgeless, but in this case, I'm not worried about scratching glass. I just personally would use something, if your windows are filthy, use the Kirkland Signature first, get all the crap off of it, clean it, and then use this kind of in between there. So every month you want to clean your glass, boom, grab one of these. These are fantastic because they can soak up a lot of that glass cleaning residue moisture in there, can soak up a lot of dirt. Again, please do not try and clean your glass like this. If you want to absolutely have streaked glass, yeah, go ahead and do this. If you want to do it the proper way, fold your towel into quarters, boom, you have 8 different sides you can clean your glass with. Now, when I use towels, I like to have a wet side and a dry side. So what I'll do, this will be my wet side. It's my first initial wipe, boom, boom, cleaning the glass, flip over, completely dry, and dry it off. That's going to pick up any of that residue. Then when I go to here, now this side of the towel is going to be a little wet on the inside. I'm going to use this as my wet side. This is my dry side. Repeat on the back. So you really get a lot out of a single towel if you use them the proper way. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit of a long one, but I really wanted to go through and describe why I use each towel, how I've selected these over my past 10 years of detailing, and really hope I helped you figure out some better towels for your detailing needs. All of these products will be in the link in the description below. And I, of course, will be purchasing more and more towels, testing them to see if I can find anything better than I am using now. Thanks so much for watching another out of spec detailing video here from Clear Detailing in Northern Colorado. We'll see you in the next one soon. Bye-bye.